Hi, Kia. Thanks for joining us. We're going to start with Adam Miller from Winsider and then Alex Simon.
Hi, Kia. Can you talk about a little bit about how your roles change now that Diana's back in the lineup and how you expect to see your role moving forward?
Yes. I would say obviously when Dee comes back, is back in the lineup, it allows another scorer to come in because we see the way she can score, and she can score whenever she wants. So part of my job is going to be to continue to space the floor and give all of our players as much space as possible and make defenses, guard me as a shooter, play defense, knock down open shots. I mean, that was pretty much my role. When Dee wasn't on the court, I probably just had to take a little bit more of a step forward in the scoring role and shot taking. But now, you're just out there playing basketball and flowing. When the ball gets your way, then you do what's right, whether that's making a pass, getting to the rim, or knocking down an open shot.
Next up is Alex Simon with the next, followed by Jeff Metcalf.
Hi, Kia. I especially want to ask what Diana coming back means for you guys defensively. She obviously has, basketball intelligence that is world renowned, but it seems as if it can kind of help find more passing lanes to disrupt and just generally help disrupt their offensive rhythm. Is that kind of what you felt are the things that she brings most to you guys on the defensive end?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know what Diana can bring on the offensive end, but defensively, she also does bring that presence. A lot of times, if you have a really smart defender like we do in Dee, and like you said, because she has the ability to just use her experience in basketball over the years, that helps out as well, just in terms of movement and knowing, who's going to take the next pass on a rotation if we do end up in a defensive rotation, being able to continue to switch, obviously with her size and her length. And so continuing to use that to our advantage and her ability to defend multiple positions.
And just because tomorrow's game is considered a Commissioner's Cup game, I was just curious for you guys as players, now that you're in it, obviously you guys haven't won every one of those games, so maybe it seems a little out of reach, but is that something you guys at all even are talking about at this point now that you're in the season?
No, honestly, I don't think we've talked about Commissioner's Cup once. If it happens, it happens. Obviously, I think it's a pretty exciting addition to our season, and obviously there's monetary incentives to that as well, but I think every time you step onto the court, your goal is to win the game no matter what. And your overall overarching goal is to win the championship, right? Winning the Commissioner's Cup would be awesome. Yeah, you put some money in your pocket, but if you didn't win the championship, then what does it really mean? So it's not really something that we've talked about. But definitely, I mean, I guess when the games come, we know it's on the speaker that it's a Commissioner's Cup matchup.
Next up is Jeff Metcalf with the Arizona Republic, followed by Danny Thompson.
In the first 4 games when Taurasi was playing, I think 2 of those games, you guys had all 5 people in double figures, and you almost were at that point in the LA game the other day. And that seems to be when you guys really are at your best, just because you have that many threats out there. Is that what you think you guys are going to get back to, and hopefully on a regular basis now?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, when you look at, having the scoring threats that we do on the lineup, and being able to continue to move the ball and get the best shot possible, and being able to score in a number of different ways because we have players who can score in a number of different ways, it makes it easier on all of us. And obviously with Dee, we talked about it a little bit earlier here, her experience is in her basketball IQ is second to none. And so when she's on the court and she's kind of running that point guard position, her ability to kind of see passes before they happen, put you in positions where you can be successful. And she does that for each and every one of us. I would love to be in her mind during a basketball game to see what's going on in there, because she has an understanding of, this is a good play for Kia, this is a good play for Skylar, a good play for BG, let's run these and allow them to get going early. And obviously Dee can get going whenever she needs to, but she does a really good job of making sure that all of us are getting into places where we can be successful. And then defensively, we all stick together and have our offense be created from our defense.
Could you tell, just even in the 1 game back, you were mentioning the spacing earlier, could you tell the difference in particularly how it kind of opens things up for Griner to have Taurasi back out there?
Yeah, I mean, you have to respect Dee's ability to shoot the ball because it's a quick trigger, a quick release. So for any defense, it's who's your pick your poison of the day, right? And it's, if you're going to go and try and trap BG, you're going to try and pack the paint on the inside. We have shooters on the outside, and obviously Dee has proven over the long years and long career that she's had in the WNBA that she can knock that shot down very consistently. So she definitely does open up the spacing, and then also her passing ability opens up the spacing as well, because you just know when Dee has the ball, there's an opportunity to find a really good open shot.
Next up is Danny Thompson with a 3-point conversion.
Kia, Danny.
Did we lose him there?
I think we lost him. We'll see if he comes back. We're going to go back to Alex Simon for a few questions.
Yeah, just to kind of go off of that, Kia, we asked BG and Skylar about this after the game, but just how absurd is 9,000 points in a WNBA career as somebody in the league? Just what is that? Is that even fathomable to some extent?
Well, she mentioned it. She's old, so she's had a lot of time to work on it. But no, it's absolutely insane. Just because she's a scorer, but she's so much more than that. And it's taking really good shots. It's finding her teammates and helping them be as successful as possible as well. So if you think about who she is as a scorer and who she is as a basketball player, she makes the people around her better. And that's what I've noticed pretty quickly being in a system with her. And so I think that's what's the most impressive part, is that you're making everyone around you better and you're still at 9,000 points. And I don't think anybody is anywhere close to her.
Okay, we're going to go back to Danny Thompson.
Sorry, Kia, Danny Thompson, 3-point conversion. My daughter called me, by the way, so it kind of knocked me off. 2 questions, one on the court, one off the court. On the court, the other night was your first game as a member of the Phoenix Mercury. So you're on the home side of things, playing in front of the X Factor. Was it everything you expected to have everybody in the building? Because as Skylar said, the place was rocking. Was it everything you expected when you got traded to have that type of crowd on Sunday?
Yeah, well, that's what I was hoping for, because I played against it so many times that I was like, okay, so now we're on the other side of it, thankfully, because they're loud, they're passionate, they show up, and it's really fun to play in an atmosphere like that. And so definitely with, the full capacity opening up and being able to have kind of everybody back in that lower bowl and the energy, it helps. It makes a difference when you have a home crowd like that, because it really is kind of that 6th man on the floor. So it was everything and a little bit more than I expected, which I'm glad. You can only keep getting better from here, and that means it's going to be absolutely insane. So
I want you to put your basketball analyst hat on, because I love doing this with you. Team Canada announced their team the other day, who is going to the Olympics. Put your analyst hat on, and can you kind of give a breakdown of what do you think of Team Canada, the roster, and their chances of placing a medal in Tokyo?
The women's team announced it? Did we announce it?
No, I know the men's team announced theirs. I'm not sure about the women's team.
Okay, so the men's team is still actually trying to qualify to even get to the Olympics. We are already there. Side note. But obviously, I think we have so many young, talented players on our men's side as well. It's something that we've been talking about for a number of years, and to finally have the opportunity to get some of them to have some time to play is great. I think RJ Barrett is going to be really good for our team. I love Lou Dort. I think he's so much fun to watch. Gillis Alexander, Walker Alexander. I think there's just so many exciting players with a little bit of a mixture of some of our kind of mainstays who have been there for a really long time with Canada basketball. So I know they're playing on home soil. That also helps a little bit. And hopefully they get these 2 wins, and then they can get themselves to Tokyo, because it's only going to be an exciting season in Canada basketball when we're talking about both our women's and our men's basketball team.
Oh, don't worry, Kim. I'm going to ask you about the women's team as we get closer to the Olympics. I'm not going to forget.
No worries. All good. I just make sure people know we've been there for a while.
Thank you.
No worries.
All right. Thank you for the time, Kia.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too.